In the beginning, before kingdoms, before names, there was only survival. Some creatures rose from the waters, others claimed the land, but not all would survive what was coming. Because when the world grows silent, only the wise remain. The earth was young, covered in mist, rivers stretching endlessly across untouched land, forests breathing with life. Animals moved freely. Some walked proudly upon the dry ground, while others remained beneath the waters. Each one different. Each one necessary. And though they shared the same world, they did not share the same fate. As time passed, some animals moved closer to humans. Villages began to rise, simple, fragile, but alive. Goats grazed without fear. Chickens scratched the earth. Dogs barked to protect, and among them walked the quiet observer, the cat, not loud, not boastful, but always watching. Here, they were safe, fed by the hands of men, protected, but beyond the village, tone shifts darker. The forest waited. In the forest, there were no shepherds, no mercy, only power. The strong survived, the weak disappeared. A lion stood above it all, watching, waiting, ruling without question. And there was a saying, even in hunger, a lion will never eat leaves, because in this world, you either hunt or you become the hunted. From one mother came different destinies. One, restless, driven by anger, the leopard. The other, quiet, patient, observing, the kitten. The mother watched them both, knowing the world ahead would test them. Patience, she taught, is the key to survival. But not all hearts. Listen, the leopard chose pride and walked away, and sometimes even love must let go. The kitten stayed and learned to listen, not just with ears, but with instinct, to wait, even when hunger burned, to strike, only when the moment was right. She failed more than once, but failure did not break her, it sharpened her, because the world she was preparing for would show no mercy. Then, the rain stopped, the land dried, the rivers shrank, and silence covered the earth. Famine had come, animals grew weak, voices faded, hope began to disappear, and into that silence came the leopard, stronger, but angry, demanding answers, demanding control, but a king who cannot feed his people, rules over nothing. There was only one answer, the cat, alive, calm, prepared. You survived.
Why are you all starving? I am your king.
Because the one who sustained us is not here.
Who?
The lion.
I prepared, she replied, and for the first time, the leopard did not command. He asked, teach me. Watch, she said. Rats moved through the darkness, small, fast, easy to miss, but she did not move, not yet, not too soon. Then, motion, precision, silence, one strike, perfect, no wasted energy, no mistake. This was survival. The leopard tried to hunt in the village, but this was not the forest. Voices rose, drums echoed, humans stood together. Do not allow the leopard to oppress the animals. For the first time, the leopard was not feared. He was resisted, slow realization tone. And he understood, not every land bows to strength. Back in the forest, another ruler waited, the lion.
I ruled this forest before you came. If you hunt, do not enter my den.
Agreed.
A warning, not a request. Territory was drawn, not with war, but with understanding, respect, without friendship. While others struggled, the cat thrived. She hunted what others ignored, protected what others abandoned, and in the silence of famine, she became the answer, not through power, but through wisdom. And from that mother came a legacy, hunters of unmatched skill, speed, precision, silence. The leopard, the cheetah, the tiger, the jaguar, but among them all, the smallest became the wisest. Because survival does not belong to the strongest. Long pause, it belongs to the one who learns.
Hunger does not knock. It enters quietly, and by the time it is seen, it is already too late. The village had grown silent. Where there was once movement, there was stillness. Where there was once life, there was waiting. Goats no longer roamed. Chickens no longer scratched the earth. Even the dogs lay without strength. The famine had taken more than food. It had taken hope. The wind passed through empty compounds. Dust rose, but no one followed it. Eyes were weak, bodies were tired, and fear had settled in. Because when survival fades, even the strongest begin to doubt. From the edge of the village, a small figure returned, quiet, unnoticed, the pussycat. She walked slowly between the huts, observing, listening, understanding. She did not return with noise or power. She returned with purpose. A sudden movement, a rat darted across the ground. In an instant, she struck, clean, silent, effective. She dropped it near the weakest goat. The goat hesitated, then ate, slowly, weakly, but alive. Not all heroes roar. Some move in silence. Night fell. Darkness covered the village, but the cat did not sleep. She moved again, watching, hunting, protecting. A snake slithered near a sleeping chick. The cat's eyes locked. She lunged, struck, ended it. A scorpion crept across dry ground before it could strike. She was faster. Where danger moved, she was already there. Days passed, then more days. The animals began to rise again, slowly, carefully, but surely. The dogs stood, the chickens moved, the goats grazed again. They began to gather around her, not in fear, but in trust. She did not demand loyalty, she earned it. The same animals who once overlooked her now watched her with something new, respect. The animal elder stepped forward, weaker, but smiling.
You saved us. I survived, and so will you.
Because to her, survival was not power, it was responsibility. The sun rose over the village once more. Light returned, movement returned, life returned. The cat sat at the center, calm, still, unshaken. Around her, the animals rested peacefully, safe, for the first time in a long time. During the Great Famine, when strength failed and kings could not provide, the smallest hunter became the greatest protector. Far away, in the forest, the leopard watched from a distance, silent, thoughtful. He did not step forward, he did not interrupt, because even he understood this was not his place. Back in the village, the cat closed her eyes, not in exhaustion, but in peace, because she never panicked in hardship. She never waited for rescue. She never depended on power. She became something more. Not a ruler, not a warrior, but a provider. And in a world where survival is everything, the one who feeds life becomes richer than them all. The wind moved gently through the village, no longer empty, no longer afraid. And so, the legend grew, not of the strongest, but of the wisest. Peace is never permanent. It is borrowed, and one day, it must be defended. The village had changed. Where there was silence, there was movement. Where there was fear, there was rhythm. The animals were stronger now. Health had returned, but something else had returned too. Confidence, and confidence, when unchecked, can become blindness. The goats wandered farther than before. The chickens strayed beyond the safe grounds. Even the dogs barked again, loud, carefree. The cat watched, quiet, still, because she understood something the others had forgotten. The world had not changed, only their condition had. At the edge of the tall grass, something moved, slow, heavy, patient, a shadow, bigger than before, more dangerous than hunger. The leopard had returned, not watching this time, hunting. Strength recognizes opportunity, and weakness leaves traces. The wind shifted. The cat's ears twitched. Her eyes narrowed. She saw it. Before anyone else, a young goat wandered too far, unaware, unprotected. In a flash, the grass exploded. The leopard lunged, but so did she. The cat moved like a streak of instinct, fast, precise, without hesitation. She struck the goat, not to harm, but to push it aside. The leopard's claws hit empty ground. Dust rose. Silence snapped. The village froze. This was not hunger. This was power. The leopard turned, eyes locked on the cat. Not prey, not food, a challenge. The animals watched, frozen, unmoving. The cat stood her ground, still, unshaken, because true courage is not the absence of fear. It is clarity in the presence of danger. The leopard stepped forward, slow, dominant, certain. The cat did not attack. She did not retreat. She waited, watched, measured. The leopard circled, testing, searching for weakness. But the cat gave none. Seconds stretched, heavy, endless. Then, the cat moved, not toward the leopard, away. She walked calmly, back toward the village, slow, deliberate, unafraid. The leopard paused, confused, because power expects resistance. It understands fear, but it does not understand restraint. The cat stopped, turned slightly, met the leopard's eyes one last time, not as prey, not as rival, but as equal, then continued walking. The leopard did not follow. It watched, still, thinking, and then it turned away, back into the wild. The tension broke. The animals rushed forward, shaken, silent. The young goat trembled, alive. The dogs lowered their heads. The chickens gathered close. This time, there was no celebration, only understanding, because survival had just revealed its second truth. Strength can protect, but wisdom prevents war. The animal elder stepped forward again, eyes deeper now, voice quieter. Animal elder,
We were ready to fight, but you chose not to. Not every victory needs blood.
silence, then respect, deeper than before, because what she protected was not just life, it was the future. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows. The village remained intact. No loss, no destruction, only a lesson. The cat returned to her place, at the center, still watching, still thinking, because the greatest power is not in defeating your enemy, it is in choosing when not to. The wind moved once more, but this time, it carried something new, awareness, and far away, deep in the wild, the leopard walked alone, not defeated, but changed. And so, the legend grew, not just of survival, but of wisdom under pressure.